your class. Today we are going to be looking at demand, looking at how Waec or Jamb sets questions in demand. So as you're watching this video, please take notes of some certain points that I will be making. You write them down after the video. Try to take your past question, solve, and use this as a guide. Now let's start. Demand. What is demand? I know demand, you must have known the meaning of demand. So demand is the ability and willingness of consumer to buy some unit of goods given a particular price at a particular period of time. So in a very simple way, demand is just what you want to and you have the ability to buy it. What you want to buy and you have the ability to buy it. If you want to buy it, you don't have ability to buy it, that is ineffective demand. Take note. You want to buy it and you have the money to buy it, that is effective demand. But in Waec and Jamb, you need to understand the concept of determinant of demand. Very, very important. So what are determinants of demand? Determinants of demand are factors that can make consumers to buy more or less. Determinants of demand are what? They are the factors that can make consumers to buy more or less. So what are the determinants of demand? You have the price of the commodity. Price of the commodity, if it goes up, it makes consumer to buy less. If it comes down, it makes the consumer to buy more. So can you see that now? Then price of substitute, that price of a good that serves the same purpose with another good. So that's also determine demand. Then we also have the income of the consumer. You know, the higher the income, the higher the consumption, the quantity demanded. And the lower the income, when your income comes down, then you reduce what you consume. Then we also have taste. It's also part of the determinant of demand. Now, it is not the meaning of determinant of demand per se that you just have to know. How does it work? Before you can do that, as Waec and Jamb said the questions, they will connect it. I'm telling you now, they connect it with change in quantity demanded and change in demand most times. It means that you need to understand the concept of change in quantity demanded and change in demand. Like this now. We have this, let's say, please change in quantity demanded. Then we have this, okay, let's take it like this. What is change in quantity demanded? Change in quantity demanded is the movement of points along the same demand curve. This is what I'm saying. Look at this now. This now, this is our what? What curve is this? Demand curve. Now, if this is 6, this is 5. When the price is 6, what is going to be the quantity demanded? Let's say 4. The price falls now to 5. Then quantity demanded increases to 5. You can see as the price falls. So it means that the lower the price, the higher the quantity demanded. Now, you can see when the price was 6, this is the point of intersection of price and quantity. But when the price falls, then the point moves down to here. So you can see point A, point B. But all these points, they are on one what demand curve. You can see just one demand curve. So that is what we call change in quantity demanded. And change in quantity demanded is only determined by one factor. And that factor is price of the commodity. Take note. Price of the commodity is the only one that can lead to change in quantity demanded, that can lead to movement of points along the same demand curve. But change in demand now. Change in demand. Change in demand must serve at least 2 curves. Take note. Change in quantity demanded, we have 1 curve. Change in quantity demanded, we have at least 2 curves. So let's say this is D0, D1. Do you understand? So this is change in demand. And this change in demand is determined by all factors that determine demand except this price. It's only this price of the commodity that doesn't determine this. It means that all the factors that determine demand is split into 2 now. Take note. One of them goes for change in quantity demanded, and the rest determine change in demand. So in exams, they can mention some factors. If it is not price of the commodity, that is not determined change in quantity demanded. It means it's determined. If I don't list it here and they mention it, it's not price of the commodity. It means that must be affecting change in demand. So price of substitute affects change in demand. Income of the consumer affects lead to change in demand. Taste also needs to change in demand. Festive period needs to change in demand. Do you understand that? Okay. Then you also need to know after this now. So let's go to, okay, if I give you this question now, let me give you one question. If I give you this question, I give you this question. So if I have like this now, I have like this. What do you think the time? I say this is 7, this is 6, this is 1, this is 2. This is demand. So what do you think the timing is now? What do you think, out of the factors that determine that, which one do you think will determine this? Did you say taste? Income of consumer? No, it's not taste. This is what? This is change in quantity demand, and it's determined by what? It's the movement of point along the same demand from, and it's determined by price of the commodity only. Do you understand that now? Okay? Now, let's quickly look into some other aspects under demand, which is equilibrium. You also ought to, you need to understand what is equilibrium. Equilibrium is the point where quantity demanded equals quantity supply. And I will tell you this now. You see the concept of equilibrium, you can have questions in 3 different ways. It can be based on graph, it can be on equation, it can also be on table. So let's look at the table first. So if you have something like this, it can give you a table like this. P. They give you QD, they give you QS. So they can simply say you have 2, 12, 7. You have 3, you have 4. This is let's say this is 10, this is 10, this is 8, this is 12. So they ask you at what is the equilibrium quantity now? The formula is always QD equals QS. So QD equals, just look for where quantity demanded equals quantity supply. It's as simple as that. Where is that place? Is it here? No. Here. This is the equilibrium point. Quantity demanded equals quantity supply. And they can ask you what is the price at equilibrium. So you look for where quantity demanded equals quantity supply, and 3 is the price. Then quantity demanded is 10. Quantity supply is 10. Equilibrium quantity is what? 10. It's as simple as that. Do you understand? Okay? And they can also make it, now, there's one thing I want you to know here. They can also bring another thing, and they ask you at price 2. At price 2, what is the excess demand? They will come about excess demand and excess supply. So when you say excess demand, excess demand means the difference between quantity demanded and the quantity supply. So excess demand comes when there is disequilibrium. Okay, let me say what is the excess supply? Excess demand at 2 naira here. Excess demand will give you the difference between quantity demanded and quantity supply. So excess demand, why demand is more, by how much does demand greater than 7? That's the meaning of excess demand. Just the excess demand equals 12 minus 7. That's how to find excess demand, which is going to be also 5. Excess demand here is, can you see? But here, supply is greater, so we have excess supply here. So when they ask you excess supply, it's going to be 12 minus 8. Do you understand? Okay. Let's now look at how we can use equation. Equilibrium question can also come on equation. Let's have something like this. For equation, we have 40. Let's say your QD, we give you QD equals 40 minus 2p. YQS equals 6p plus 24. So they ask you to find equilibrium. Find equilibrium quantity. They can ask you to find equilibrium quantity or equilibrium price. Anyhow, either way, whether equilibrium quantity or equilibrium price, you are still using this formula. So just make your QD equals QS. Do you understand? So QD equals QS. So let me stop it here. So I'll be having QD equals QS. Then my QD, the equation, write it under QD. 40 minus 2p equals the equation of QS, 6p plus 24. So we'll be having collect the like times. Please, you need to know how to do the collection of like times. So we have 40, then 24 will come here. It becomes, is the equation correct? Okay, yes. So we have 40 plus 24. it's going to be minus 24 equals 6p. This one will come here. This is plus. It's going to be minus here. Minus here is coming to this. It's going to be what? Plus 2. So this one is going to give us 16. 40 minus 24 equals 8p. Divided by 8. Divided by 8. So our p, our final answer, p is going to be what? Which is price? Going to be 2. Let's say in Naira, Nigeria, 2. Our answer is going to be 2. So price is 2. Now, when price, you have, this is equilibrium price now. Then you want to get equilibrium quantity. Now, how do you get equilibrium quantity? Just choose one out of the function of demand or supply. You can pick this, you can pick this. Any one you pick, you're going to get the same answer. Do you understand that? So let's pick quantity demanded. So quantity demanded, so to get what now? For what? For equilibrium quantity now. Equilibrium quantity. So we're having what? We're having QG 40 minus 2P. So QG equals 40 minus 2. And I know my P to be 2 here. So I put 2. So which is going to give me 40 minus 2 times 2 is what? 4. 40 minus 4 is going to be 36. So 36 units. For those of you that are writing Waec, you have to put this unit for clarity. It's abstract math. So but for Jamb, it's there already. So this is 36 units. So this is your equilibrium what? Equilibrium quantity. So if you use your supply function, you know I use demand function here, the equation here. If I use supply, I'm still going to get 36. You can try it if you are not going to get the same. So if you do it very well, you are going to get the same thing, 36 units. Because at equilibrium, your quantity demanded must equal quantity supply. I challenge you to do that if you are going to get 36 units using this quantity supply. Now, then again, sometimes Jamb might want to test your intelligence. Like they can ask you that they give you this equation direct. They will just give you this equation that QD equals 40 minus 2P, QS equals 16 plus 24. Find excess demand at 37 units. So what is excess demand at 37 units? They won't give you that equilibrium price is 36. Do you understand? They will just find, they will ask you to find quantity, they will ask you to find excess demand at 36 units. So how do you find excess demand at 36 units? You need two things. You need to find supply and demand at the same time when the price is given. I'm going to explain that when I'm using graph. So let's continue now. Let's go to the last aspect, which is for graph. Okay, for graph, your graph can be like this. Question can also come. I'm going to use 2001 question for this. So it goes like this. This is 2001 Jamb question. So they gave you something like this. They gave something like this. They gave something like this. So you have, this is, what curve is this? Demand. What curve is this? Supply. So we have here 100. We have here 200, then here we have 300. Can you tell me the equilibrium points now? Equilibrium point. Your equilibrium point. Your equilibrium point is the point at which demand curve intersect demand supply curve. So which is this place? So this is the equilibrium point. This is the equilibrium point. Now, so let's say this is at equilibrium now, it is 4. Then we have 2 here, price. So at 2 naira now, I'm using naira. At 2 naira, you can use dollar, but in Nigeria we use naira. At 2 naira, what is the excess demand? At 2 naira, what is the excess demand? So how do you know excess demand? Look at the equilibrium. Then look at it here now. This is supply. Supply is 100. Then trace it to demand. Demand at the same level, the same price. Demand is what? Demand is 300. So find excess demand. How do you find excess demand? Excess demand. Excess demand now equals what? Excess demand equals the number. What is the meaning of excess demand? Let me even put it like that. Excess demand is how much demand is greater than supply. So it's as simple as that. So demand is 300. Demand is 300 minus supply 100. So what's going to be our answer? So excess demand here is going to be 200 units. 200 units. Our excess demand is going to be 200 units. Our excess demand is 200 units. It's as simple as that. So when you are given an equation, you are given an equation and you are asked to find excess demand. What you just have to do is to know the price. To know the price at which you are working and get the quantity demanded at that price, get the quantity supply at that price, then deduct them as we have done here, then you get your excess excess demand. Like the equation I gave you,